Eastbound B3 bunched up as well from the Long Island Expressway all the way on down towards the Prospect Expressway. Eastbound belt is still slow from Knapp Street all the way off to Prospect Boulevard. It should start getting better because the traffic that caused it to be so slow is already out of the way. In the Bronx, Bruckner eastbound side getting out towards 149th Street. Still looking at a crash in the right lane. Very listed on the
Good idea. Good agent. Should I go right or continue straight? I can continue straight.
Yeah, on 18th. This is 18th Avenue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
GPS said go right. I can just go
Okay,
straight.
yeah.
Did they charge you okay?
I'm sorry?
Did they charge you okay or?
Yeah. It was around the price that it was supposed to be, so.
Yeah, okay, no problem. I don't know. I took the HOV. You think that was a mistake or?
You know what? I think that's happened to me one time before where I was also in the Uber and he took the HOV. It was at nighttime though. And I think we wound up in like on the Belt Parkway. I think he took to get me back home. But yeah, that HOV lane is unforgiving. If you get in it, there's like no exit for a long time.
Yeah, so I exit immediately and you know it's not too
And
bad
that's where
now.
we ended up, right?
Yeah. So next time, tell the driver to avoid the HOV.
With the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, 2020 now the hottest year on record. It's tied with 2016. The 10 warmest years on record all happened after 2005. Scientists say, of course, it is because of the burning of coal, oil, and natural gas. The United States also has a record number of weather disasters, 22 of them in 2020, costing more than $1 billion. That includes hurricanes, wildfires, tornadoes, and even a Midwest derecho. Waste news time, 4:37. She sang at the Super Bowl, and now a superstar will be singing the national anthem at Inauguration. They will tell you who that is. And Entertainment is next. to the ceremony as well, though it is unclear what she will be singing. Lady Gaga, another delay for the long-awaited Sopranos prequel. There will be many films in Europe will now
Cool.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you so much.
Okay, one second. Okay, okay, good luck. Have a
All
good
right,
day.
have a good one.
Be
Stay
safe.
safe.
Be safe. On to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one.
Please drive to highlighted route.
Let's go to David from Brooklyn. He says he's a first-time caller.
Hello, Lydia.
Hi, David.
Yeah, I have to say, I give you a lot of credit for being really a peacemaker in the face of impending civil war.
I'm trying.
I give you a lot of credit. But
Drive
what makes
0.2
the
miles,
people on
then
the
turn
right,
right on
and I wanna
Ocean
set that up
Parkway.
right, but people on the right so upset. For example, I was at the rally. I heard Donald Trump, everything that he said nothing wrong. Okay? He never said storm the Capitol.
Turn left
He
on
just said,
Coney
let's go
Island
down
Avenue.
peaceably, protest. Because you know what? We've seen the evidence of what happened in the election. We saw the laws that were changed right before. We saw trucks coming in the middle of the night. A lot of things. There's a lot of outrage around the country.
Right.
What I would say would make the whole thing peaceably go away is if Joe Biden said, you know what? Let's go ahead and do an investigation in those states. Let's look at the ballots forensically. Let's make sure there was no fraud, and then the whole country can heal.
David, you're right.
Yeah.
David, thank you. Thank you for calling. You're right. That would be amazing. At first, if he did that, because that's all we wanted, the right. We were saying it looks like there's widespread, it looks like it, right? It looks like it. We're seeing these kind of voter dumps, these anomalies. The statisticians are coming out saying it's statistically impossible for what happened. The 600,000 votes, 90% went to Biden, and the mail-in ballots, 100% of them went to Biden in Georgia. So investigate. What do you have to lose but finding out the truth? You're correct. You're right. It was a cauldron of so many issues that just blew over. Still, no excuse for violence. But I understand the reason for the rally. But that's not what the leftist wants us to believe, to sit around and be like, accept everything and shove it down our throats. And we were just questioning things. That's what we do as Americans. But now, if you even question something, if you speak out about something, like Senator Cruz and Senator Hawley, you've got people like AOC saying that you should be kicked out of the Senate for just speaking out on the Senate floor. That right there, what she is saying, is completely undemocratic and anti-American. And it's just mind-blowing to me. Let's see how many phone calls real quick, if I'm let's go to Biden. Oh, Bill from Warwick, Connecticut. I was you're saying Biden should be impeached, huh?
No, don't call me Biden.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You asked if Biden should be impeached, and I think yes, he should be impeached because I don't think he was elected legally. I think the votes were stolen, and on top of that, Joe Biden was voted the dumbest man in the U.S. Senate for the last 10 years that he was in the U.S. Senate, and he certainly didn't grow brains while he was the vice president. And as far as I'm concerned, the man's got dementia, and he should be impeached because he's not qualified to serve as president, and he stole the election from the legitimate president, Donald Trump.
Thank you, Bill, for calling. And you never know what could happen with Biden, because I do think there is some kind of mental issues there. I don't have proof, okay? But it appears to be some kind of issue going on with the constant forgetfulness. Yes. Who knows? Who knows what'll happen? Who knows? Maybe we'll have President Kamala very soon. But it looks like, oh, that person dropped because there was somebody who was not a fan of Kamala Harris. But you don't have her Vogue cover. You don't have her magazine. One last one before. Let's go to Larry from Brooklyn.
Yeah, hi, Lydia. You know I love your presentation and everything, but, sometimes I have to disagree with you. And I believe that Congresswoman from Georgia is a heroine. Now, I know your view on impeachment is a sound view. However, they've already destroyed the Constitution, and now we have to fight fire with fire. We are in an all-out war with animals, as Bernard McGurk correctly calls them. He's the great one because he says it like it is. They are democratic animals. Letitia James, animal. Don Lemon, animal. Maxine Waters, animal. These are animals. Keep your show by yourself, because if you get Dominic Carter, I wouldn't be able to say what I just said for political correctness, okay?
Thank you, Larry, for calling. And you know what? Somebody actually said to me, don't call people animals, because animals are sweet and loving creatures. Call them savages. And that's a better way to do it. So then you can be, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, don't say animals. I love animals. I love dogs and cats and all those things. So yeah, don't put them in the same category. I'm Lydia Serrano, the Rundown with Lydia. Coming back, we got to talk about the hypocrisy of the left. They're actually violating their own little standards that they set for everybody else. Oh God, it never ends. We'll be right back.
WABC, traffic and transit. There's a lot of heavy traffic in Brooklyn. We've got an accident on the inbound Gowanus right around Hamilton Avenue. Very slow from the belt split up through Hamilton Avenue. A lot of traffic in westbound on the BQE from the Kosciuszko Bridge coming down in through Hamilton Avenue as well. In the Bronx, back up here westbound on the Cross Bronx. It's bumper to bumper from Westchester Avenue right on out to the George Washington Bridge. And it looks like we got an accident here southbound on the Deegan. A lot of heavy volume from Fordham Road into the Cross Bronx. Northbound Deegan is slow from the Triborough Bridge. And heavy traffic on the West Side Highway northbound from 79th Street up to the GW. Outbound Lincoln about 10. Outbound Holland Tunnel about a 20-minute delay. I'm Jay Trelay, Talk Radio 77 WABC.
Investors like appreciation with high cash flow. The Federal Reserve is boosting real estate markets now with super low long-term interest rates. And where we build, it's booming. Founded in 2006 with a 15-year track record, NRIA gives you steady cash flow backed by $1.2 billion of new construction development. NRIA is accepting investors for our real estate. More see reliable 10% return electronic payments, passive tax-deferred income with bonuses to 21% on prime residential buildings. You're inflation protected with large rental buildings and diversified in 18 prime real estate developments, avoiding stock market risk. Call us now and do the math on our prime developments. See for yourself. NRIA. Come do the math. It works. Just call 201-210-2727. That's 201-210-2727. An offer to buy or sell any security is only made by a private placement memorandum. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. Returns are annual. National is a real estate development firm. See us at NRIA.net.
Listeners, a warm welcome awaits you at the Breakers Palm Beach. And now more than ever, the Breakers is committed to making your stay even better with exceptional experiences, gracious service, and unparalleled seaside glamour. Sink your toes into the sun-kissed sand of the Breakers Tropical Beachfront and soak up the sun at 4 refreshing pools. Relax at the Breakers exquisite spa and invigorate your senses at the indoor-outdoor oceanfront fitness center. Plus, enjoy delectable dining, world-class shopping, championship golf, and more. As you prepare for your arrival, you can also take comfort in knowing that the Breakers upholds the highest standards of comprehensive health and safety precautions to protect our team, guests, and community. So, what are you waiting for? To reserve your vacation, visit thebreakers.com, call 1-800-BREAKERS, or contact your travel advisor. This winter, we look forward to welcoming you to the Breakers Palm Beach, where happy returns. Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
The product that you have given me here is, as far as I'm concerned, sent to me from heaven. I love it a great deal. It's hard to find anything that's real nowadays. I enjoy it immensely. It's making my life so much better. I feel so much better. And during this pandemic, I have no worries whatsoever. My immune system is got to be at a top-notch level. I don't know what getting sick is anymore. This is so cool.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any...
On to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one.
68751. That's 800-2468-751. Or by going to balanceofnature.com and make sure to receive this special radio offer by using discount code WABC. Looking for gifts for DIYers? A new year and new projects are just around the corner. So shop Lowe's for tools the pros use. Right now, save big on over 200 powerful DeWalt.
In 0.2 miles, turn left on Avenue C.
Brooklyn, baby, you're in Brooklyn
That
now.
was $149 and is now $99. Shop in store, home on our app, and Lowe's.com, and pick up curbside or contactless service. While supplies last, valid through February 3rd, 2021. U.S. only.
Investment analyst, global healthcare is needed in
Leah, welcome to the club.
healthcare sector and companies in the U.S., EU, and Asia. Build financial models using analyses, prepare investment plan, and recommended healthcare
Secret.
stocks and other investment opportunities.
Robusta, secret.
Finance or related field with 2 years experience in the finance field is required. Send resume to
Robusta, know my schedule, huh?
USA LLC, 625 Madison Avenue, 3rd floor, New York, 10022. Attention, Uliana Roby. Listen to the Optimal Health Program with Dr. Christopher Calife. We're going to talk about stem cell therapy. Saturdays at 8 a.m. and Sundays at 7 p.m.
It's the Rundown with Lydia Serrana on 77 WABC.
Turn left on Avenue C. Continue 0.2 miles, then turn right on Ocean Parkway.
He bought a white seagull to say God. I feel like he kind of brought it back into the White House. But you could be Jewish, Muslim, whatever your faith is. He welcomed all faiths. I felt like he did, at least. I mean, and that's what's important. That's the very fabric of this country, right? Our faith. But you've got Congress people, like, they're so hypocritical. They're trying to make it illegal. That's what Nancy Pelosi, before the whole impeachment thing happened, the second impeachment, excuse me, where she wore the same outfit, by the way. You can check it out on my Twitter page at Lydia.
Turn right on Ocean
She obviously
Parkway.
saved it for a special time. She actually put out a resolution, if you recall, where she said we should call people like instead of my husband, my partner, we say, instead of saying my sister, my sibling, don't say your children. And then this is what she says yesterday. Take a listen, play clip number 5. I stand before you as a wife, a mother, a grandmother, a daughter whose father proudly served in this Congress. They can't even abide by their own ridiculous rules. They can't even abide by their own ridiculous rules. But you know what? We're going to be strong and faithful, and I understand everybody's opinions, and I agree with a lot of the points you guys made. But I still stand firm that just because somebody does something wrong, what the Democrats are doing is wrong with the impeachment, we should not sink down to their level. As Michelle Obama says, when they go low, you go high, even though she has proven to be a phony hypocrite herself. But I pray, right? Resist panic. I am
They go low, we go high.
do that here at 77 WABC.
It's not who we
Resist
are.
panic. Do not demonize. Care for the sick and pray and trust that God is with you. And we here, of course, are also with you. And before we go, I'm going to end the show with the way I opened it, with one of the greatest presidents we've ever had, Ronald Reagan.
In trying the time, we've been tempted to believe that society has become too complex to be managed by self-rule. That government by an elite group is superior to government for, by, and of the people. We are a nation that has a government, not the other way around.
Drive drive 2.1 miles, then keep right to Hamilton Avenue.
Our government has no power except that granted by the people. It is made up of men and women who raise our food, patrol our streets, man our mines and factories, teach our children, keep our homes, and heal us when we're sick. Professionals, industrialists, shopkeepers, clerks, cabbies, and truck drivers.
What's happening? The Attorney General says the NYPD was abusive last spring during the George Floyd protest, and she's suing, recommending reforms and a federal monitor as part of her demands to right to sit. We'll have the story plus reaction. Bill State is looking forward to the Biden transition and the New York delegation, and particularly what it'll mean as far as getting federal pandemic relief. Chuck Schumer, the mayor, the governor, all hearing what they wanted to hear today, and they are relieved. The National Mall will be closed for the first time that we know of in history during the presidential inauguration. Because of all the threats and violence that has taken place at the Capitol, police aren't taking any chances now. These last go round, so I guess we'll all be buying tickets again. But you just can't ignore the numbers. Even the entrance from it will pay off my layaway up at Walmart. Then when Jack was dry and hot, it's cold, got down to a low of 36 degrees tonight. This is Andrew Ortega. Bloomberg new unemployment claims jumped last week, most since March. With a big rising financial stimulus hope, Wall Street rose for a while, not all day. Dow lost 69. Wake in time 5:01, and traffic center tonight. Here is Greg Black.
Well, the eastbound side of the BQE right after Hamilton Avenue, where you normally only have 2 lanes, now you only got 1. They've got that right lane closed off. It looks like there was a substantial on the inbound Gowanus from 7th Avenue, and the westbound Prospect Expressway is also en route towards the area of the BQE from right around Prospect Park West all the way on up. Now, the westbound BQE is 5 o'clock at night, later than that, actually, so you don't need a reason for these delays. It's just a mess from right off of the Kosciuszko Bridge all the way down towards Prospect Expressway. Here's what you need to know about bridges and tunnels. Citybound side of the Georgia, good ride to the upper north. Everything outbound, some kind of awful crosstalk. The worst of it, Lincoln Tunnel, we're looking at about 10 either way, same with the Holland. And the downbound Bronx River Parkway, the 40 crosswalk crash in the middle lane. It's a mess through the Botanical Garden. Southbound Hunter New England Freeway, better. Traffic sponsored by Inkwater.
All is fair in love. Love plays a game.
3.5 miles, keep right to Hamilton Avenue.
Drinkkids.com. And water will let the true for flavor. I'm Greg Rice on 1010
The NYPD sued today by the New York Attorney General. The reason? Ms. James says it's the way police handled protesters heavy-handed last spring during the George Floyd marches. Julia Papa says the AG wants to see reforms and an outside monitor looking over the NYPD's shoulder now.
The Attorney General says police excessive force included the unjustifiable use of pepper spray, batons, bicycles, and fists against protesters. We need immediate change to decades-old unjust policies and practices. She says 1,300 complaints were filed with her office and 100 people testified at hearings. Among them, Luke Hanna. He says he was leaving a peaceful protest at Cadman Plaza when he was struck from behind with a baton.
You know, I'm one skinny guy at that time surrounded by dozens of strong officers in body armor. There's no way I posed any threat.
He wants police to protect him, not assault him. Juliet Papa, 1010 News.
The PVA continues to blame the leadership, with President Patrick Lynch saying they sent cops out to police unprecedented protests and violent riots without a plan and without a strategy and without support. Meantime, the NYPD says it welcomes reforms and it has embraced suggestions from the city's law department and the Department of Investigation, adding another layer won't speed up the process of continued reform, referring to the federal monitor that's been proposed. Senator Schumer has been keeping his fingers crossed that incoming President Joe Biden will be better about getting federal COVID aid to New York than President Trump. Well, today he got the news he's been waiting for. Schumer says the president-elect's transition team has committed to sending about $2 billion, it would take a few cents, to New York City and state, covering 100% of pandemic expenses. Mayor de Blasio says, tried to get from President Trump wouldn't do it. Tried to get from the Republican Senate, they wouldn't do it. The president Biden said absolutely we're going to 100% FEMA reimbursement as we retroactive to the beginning of the crisis. That's going to mean about $1 billion for New York City. So this is breaking news and good news. Happy New Year, everybody. Funds that will surely be big in helping the city and state solve their budget crises. Schumer says getting the aid deal done even before the inauguration shows, in his words, how we will be hitting the ground running come January 20th. To the latest from Washington now, and the more preparations that are being made to keep things safe ahead of President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration next month. After the Capitol riot, the FBI joined the war on safety.
Clearly, we are in uncharted waters.
Keep right to Hamilton Avenue.
Huge chunk of downtown is locked down, with police vehicles blocking access. A week after proving to be a soft target, the Capitol itself is visible only through a tall black fence. While thousands of National Guard troops continue gathering here, thousands asking Americans not to for the inauguration.
But instead, to participate virtually.
Washington. The National Mall will also be closed off on Inauguration Day. That means no big screens, no porta potties, and no people allowed. Deputy Commissioner Don Miller says the NYPD will be sending about 200 officers to D.C. to help with the security efforts ahead of the inauguration. That's also been taken to the 5 boroughs state, so the NYPD says there have been no specific threats against their city. To the latest on the coronavirus now, and for many, the focus lately has been on the challenges for the vaccine rollout, but there are still plenty of folks angry about having to deal with all the COVID restrictions. Some of those folks are smiling tonight after limited indoor dining was cleared. Safe to return, that is, in some of the COVID hotspots around the state, but not in New York City. The move to open restaurants in the Buffalo area comes a day after a group of upstate restaurants won a preliminary injunction against the ban on indoor dining in so-called yellow zones. The New York City ordinance means that stop on
20 mark, like NYC today.
for now have to remain closed. After the latest COVID number, there were more than 212,000 new positive tests reported around New York State yesterday. It adds up to a positivity rate of 6.42%. Nearly 9,000 COVID patients were in hospitals yesterday statewide, and another 202 deaths are being blamed on the virus. In New Jersey, there were nearly 6,000 new cases yesterday, reported 94 more on death. Since everyone's accurate weather tonight, partly to mostly cloudy. We'll get to a low 36. Tomorrow, plenty of clouds, still mild out. A little rain might arrive towards the evening. A high of 46. Periods of rain tomorrow night into Saturday morning. Along with a gusty breeze to make it interesting. Some of that rain can be weathered out of them. Temperatures tomorrow night steady in the 40s. We're at 49 right now, headed down to 36 tonight in Midtown. West Midtown 507. Queens, where a man is in police custody tonight after allegedly killing his own dad, possibly poisoning 3 other members of his family. We're reporting on that investigation.
The call was about an emotionally disturbed man in the hallway of an apartment building here on Hempstead Avenue. Police found the man in his 30s who they say indicated he'd hurt someone inside his family's apartment. NYPD official Chief Joe Kenny says an officer went in. They found the man's father, dead of apparent stab wound.
At this time, from looking in, we can see a pair of scissors laying in the hallway, but that's undetermined at this time that that was the murder weapon.
In the living room, they found the man's mother, brother, and sister-in-law unconscious together on a mattress with no obvious signs of trauma. Carbon monoxide was ruled out, and they're undergoing tests at a hospital. They are expected to recover.
The father where this incident took place does not have any prior history of domestic violence or any other calls involving emotionally disturbed people.
The suspect is getting a mental health evaluation. Sonia Rincon, 1010 Winds in Queens Village.
Switching gears now, if you didn't get your ticket for last night's Cowboy run, that's it. So nobody won. I didn't play, so nobody won. But you know what that means, then, It means the top 5 for Saturday's drawing will be $640 million, the 5th largest in Powerball history. Well, that's not even the biggest lottery prize of the week. Oh, no. The jackpot for tomorrow's Mega Millions? $760 million. And those 69 are going to be really happy. We're back in the ball. What's news time? 509.
I'm worried about lots of things. My finances, my grandkids.
If you're 65 or older, you have enough things to worry about. Pneumococcal pneumonia shouldn't be one of them. Even healthy adults, 65 and older, are at increased risk for this potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can disrupt your life for weeks. Help protect yourself with the COVID-19 pneumococcal 13-gallon conjugate vaccine, diphtheria CRM 197 protein. approved for a drug to help prevent infections from 13 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 13 does not protect against all strains of the disease. Don't get Prevnar 13 if you have had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with a weakened immune system may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect is pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and for prescribing information, please call 1-866-694-9300 or visit Prevnar13.com. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 13. One more day before TGI Friday after weekend. Maybe week this week, one. It's crazy. Mexico is crazy too. Deal with that when it comes to it. When it is time 5:10, let's get you on track and calculator coming up next.
Or shares the continuing care. Correct. We can play that too if you want. We have the soundbite. I played it in my show, but yeah, of course we have.
In this market, we do think that this content was everywhere on the internet. You talked about Twitter earlier, the hang Mike Tyson and everything. It's ironic, Amazon hosts Twitter as well, and so we figure, why is it that the content that's on our platform is the problem when there's probably more of it even on their platform proportionally because of the scale?
Go back and just look at some tweets. They're still up right now. You can go look at them. You can go watch the video of Cory Booker at a conference in Washington, D.C. saying, go to the Hill and get up in the faces of some Congress people. Maxine Waters saying, you see anybody from get up in their face. Are in those videos and those tweets are not coming down anytime soon, just like the leading state sponsor of terror, R&D, Obama administration.
Continue 0.9 miles, then take ramp on left to Battery Tunnel.
Chinese government mouthpieces talking about how COVID was actually invented by the U.S. military and weaponized. So, yeah, it's so easy to make this argument. It's very arbitrary.
Today's show content in detail from the show. Amy, the chief policy officer
Over and caught and released. It's been happening. They never show up for their trial. Very big, going back a long time, and that's been taken care of because he's been tough.
Right, and he also included medical billing transparency, capping prescription costs and unemployment. For African Americans and Hispanics, he did so many great things, but they've completely been overshadowed. The greatest economy we've ever had.
That's the blog, friend of yours at Cox, a friend of mine. We have Ed Murray.
Put it on our website and the poll again.
That's more to not having your opinion and not expressing it very strongly. I got to tell you, he was great to work with. He did great things for his members. I know one of the things he did was the prescription drug program that you did for them and other things that helped. You were very innovative as a union leader. Put aside the quiet side of you with respect to being
talk about you as an attorney, and as you just said, you represented myself and many in the NYPD, and you guys have always done a great job with us, and I think on behalf of all our members, we've been very successful. This game, a different story.
I was shocked today.
They take the political John, because,
It's not driving, huh?
let's look at it
It's like driving. Got a big house.
for their political viewpoints can't sue these companies because they're private companies. In conjunction with my former law professor, I put an argument saying that actually they can sue under the First Amendment. These were private companies acting as private companies. They were acting on behalf of the liberal wing of Congress because Congress forced Silicon Valley through the back door to do what it couldn't do directly under the Constitution through the front door. And here's how they did it. First, they gave Section 230 liability exemption, which said that you companies uniquely can't be sued for taking down and censoring content in state court. Remember, all last year, congressional Democrats called these Silicon Valleys up, told them in Congress that if you don't censor so-called hateful speech, we're going to regulate the heck out of you. So that carrot and that stick was actually used to conduct state action under the mantle of private enterprise. And what I believe is that that state action hiding in the clothing of private enterprise, then it better be subject to the First Amendment, just like the actions of Congress should be as well.
8.2 miles. Take ramp on left to Battery Tunnel, then keep left.
Anymore. It's not just big government that's the enemy. It's the new government industrial complex, the woke industrial complex, that is actually the biggest threat to liberty today, which is not just big government, but big government tentacles working through private enterprise to really choke ordinary Americans' liberty. And a lot of it, in my opinion, is unconstitutional, illegal, and
take ramp on left to Battery Tunnel, then keep left.
Which I still think is the last standing institution that Americans of all stripes ought to trust. And it isn't just conservatives that should be worried. It should be libertarians and liberals, at least principled liberals, that are equally worried too.
And Julie, you wrote this book about never-Trumpers, and then, look at Liz Cheney. Well, why doesn't she apply the same standards that she said she was so offended by with Donald Trump to Kamala? Or to Joe, who wants to take Donald Trump behind the gym? I don't recall her speaking out about Hollywood actors and actresses or other liberals. I haven't heard her speak out about Chuck Schumer, threatening Kavanaugh, Gorsuch. You're gonna pay a price. You won't know what hit you.
Turn left on 2nd Street, then turn left.
Trumper. Why didn't she apply the same standards? And are we wrong to demand an accurate standard applied equally across the board?
Well, what Liz Cheney got to do yesterday is something that her family has been wanting to do for more than a decade, and that is to punch back at Donald Trump for exposing what happened during the Bush-Cheney regime, his criticism, legitimate criticism of the Iraq War and weapons of mass destruction, his criticism of Dick Cheney specifically. So she got back on behalf of her family at Donald Trump yesterday. Her state.
What does this do to the, Mr. Mullins, this is Lydia Serrano, what does this do to the morale when you see the governor and you see the mayor that they don't back the NYPD and so many of them are hurt? I think, 19 people died during the BLM protests, hundreds of officers were injured. What does this do?
Well, morale is built with the NYPD as it is for law enforcement across the country. The governor's talking about reform, and no one's responded to this reform. Well, we will be responding to this reform question that he has put out because there's many flaws in his doing of what occurs here. And you look at morale, earlier on you talked about the Capitol Police. Everyone's blaming the Capitol Police, but the Capitol Police was condemned all summer long for the way they handled the riots in D.C. That there was any threat to whatever took place. Was there a breakdown? Absolutely, there was a breakdown. But that comes from above, and yet there's no accountability. For people to say that it would be treated differently if Black Lives Matter marched on the Capitol. Well, in all of the riots that occurred, not one police officer shot or killed anyone that was black. But in the Capitol, they shot a white woman. So for the president, for Joe Biden to say that.
Turn left on Atlantic Avenue, then take ramp ahead.
What I tend to think is that because of all the criticism and the demands for de-escalation, they were overrun and probably didn't take it serious. And now we're hearing politicians coming out saying how the poor police officers who are trying to defend them were assaulted. That's been going on for 8 months and no one said a word. So we have a breakdown. And the truth comes down to, I'm on the side of the cops. I know what goes on. And I've worked the streets. I've worked these type of events. The American public, the people of this city, are being lied to by the politicians as to what's occurring. And this whole lawsuit like this, James,
And the report from DOI is a joke. It's a total joke of what's going on out there.
I agree with you, and I'm disappointed in, I love Tish James. I've known her for a long time, and we at one time we were in war, but then we made love as far as peace when we were building building. I'm disappointed.
0.7 miles. Take exit 28B on right to Brooklyn.
Retired, he was the chief patrol. Why don't you start violated rights? You use too much force. Would they both be able to stand behind it? My answer stepped out to the chief of the town. Why did the mayor is going to support? So that's
And Ed and Lydia, this is where games being played. I mean, the violin is playing. There's no Italian or Greek expression. They're playing the violin to what they think the people want to hear.
That's not what the people want to hear. People are afraid in this city. They're moving to Texas. They're moving to Florida. Businesses are leaving. I just heard today that Tesla is leaving California to go to Texas. So why are they doing that? Why are big businesses, we got a major bank leaving Wall Street to go to Florida? Why? Because New York State is corrupting. New York City is corrupting.
Take exit 28B on right to Brooklyn Bridge.
I don't care, we talked about the federal government helping out New York City now that they have a democratic regime, but if they keep losing money the way it is, I'm not sure there's enough money in the world to help New York.
Well, you want to going to be the poor people that are being used right now as pawns for all this de-escalation and defunding the police. We're hearing now the Capitol Police, they're saying, we don't have enough police, but you want to defund. Where's all these politicians that are calling for attacks on Republican politicians and said you want to defund, and now you don't want to defund. Why? Because you became a victim. It all changed.
Continue 1.1 miles. Then turn left onto Chambers Street.
The only people speaking to them are the men and women wearing that NYPD patch on their shoulder. And don't kid yourself.
When you dial 911, that's the only people that can come.
And if they're not strong and ready to come when you call.
I grew up in Harlem. I know the people in Harlem. They want 911 to work.
Absolutely.
Ed Mellon, thank you so much. We have to go to a hard break.
Lydia, Ed, have a great night.
Have a great night, Ed. I think we have to take a break. 77 WABC. We're going to be right back. And we have Christine Nicholas with us to talk about the theater district. Is it going to open up in the near future? Let's go to a break and we'll find out.
WABC, traffic and transit. Bumper-to-bumper traffic in Brooklyn on the inbound goal one is from the belt split up towards Hamilton Avenue. That's because of an accident.
יש פסל פה, שמו מול תמונה נשלח לך, מול בית משפט, הקרימינל קורט, מדוזה זה בחורה בעירום, מחזיקה ראש של מישהו, קרתה למישהו ראש עם חרב. יש פסל של בחורה בעירום, מדוזה. שמו אותה מול הקרימינל קורט.
Turn left onto Chambers Street.
כן, נעשה תמונה, אני אשלח לך. לגמרי ערומה, ויש לה חרב ביד, וקרתה למישהו את הראש. בטח מהגרופ של ה-Me Too Woman, אם תרגיז אותם, קרתו לך את הראש. כן. ביקשתי זהבה שאם היא הולכת לשם, שתתקשר. היא אמרה עכשיו היא לא יכולה ללכת, היא בהסגר. טוב. כן. כן. לבדוק מה טוב לבית, או שיקום. לבדוק את כל האפשרויות. נראה, אם יש חניה, אין חניה, אז כדאי שאני אמשיך. כן, בעיה. השקרונה הזאת, הסינית, בת 1000. לא. אבל זה בעיה כי בלי, עכשיו יש חוקים, אני קורא שאם אתה לא לוקח את החיסון, לא יתנו לך לטוס חזרה, לא יתנו לך לצאת. ובטיסות זה עושים בעיות עכשיו. אז מה, גם קראתי היום כתבה שלא יתנו לך לעלות למטוס אם אתה לא לוקח את החיסון או משהו. אני אשלח לך את הכתבה, לא יודע. או הבדיקה או החיסון. כן. באמת, מה ביקשתי? הרוסיה כולם בבית. רגע. הרוסיה כולם בבית.
Turn left on Howard Street, then turn left.
אבל העיר מרגישה כמו ריקה כזאת. העיר מרגישה כמו ריקה כזאת. אני אומר שהעיר יש הרגשה כמו יום כיפור.
Turn left on Broome Street.
יש באנשים פעילות, אבל יש הרגשה של משהו לא בסדר. קבל הטוב. עכשיו, כן, יש הרבה פעילות בוושינגטון די.סי שם, בקפיטל. סתם הרבה חיילים וזה. יש הרבה פעילות בוושינגטון די.סי. של חיילים וזה. וושינגטון די.סי בקפיטל. נראה לי ברגע האחרון טראמפ ישלוף איזה ארנבת מהכובע, מהמעיל. נראה לי ישלח את הצבא לעצור את כל העבריינים. כן, רוצים לסגור לו כן. אתה יודע מה זה מזכיר לי? זה מזכיר לי בעולם החי, לא יודע אם ראית את זה, אריה בא לאיזה משפחה, לאיזה אזור, אריה אחד בא, הורג את האריה השני, הורג את הילדים שלו ותוקע את אשתו ועושה משפחה חדשה. ראית את זה? זה מה שעושים לטראמפ בדיוק. באים לפה, הורגים אותו, לוקחים לו את הממשל, הורגים לו את הילדים, הורגים לו את העסקים, ועוד יתקעו לו את מלניה. זה מה שעושים לו עכשיו, זה עולם אכזר, מה שזה. תראה את ביוטיוב, תרשום ליין, לא יודע מה תרשום. משהו. הם בחרו, עשו הצבעה לעשות לו, כן, גם הרפובליקים בגדו בו. עשו הצבעה לזה, אבל מחכים לאישור של הסנט, אני יודע. בלי משפט, בלי כלום. פחות 6 ימים. זה. תדע לך שחצי מהרפובליקים, אלה מושתלים דמוקרטיים, הם שמים אותם ככה לקחת, אתה יודע, כאילו, מתי שצריכים אותם, אתה מבין? גם ה-FBI סתם, ה-DOA, כל השלוחות האלה סתם, מכורים. שמאלנים מכורים, כל השלוחות האלה. לא, יש לי של כוכב, אקדח אורות. יהיה טוב, יהיה טוב. כן, זה שאומרים להם, יש מה לעשות לו impeach, וזה סתם. פרדס קץ. כן, איך תדע. בשביל מה להתעמת בגויים, מה שנקרא, בשביל מה, כמו שאתה אומר, 3 שבוע, בשביל מה דווקא לפטר. לא, הם עושים את זה בכוונה, בכדי שהוא לא יוכל לרוץ, אתה יודע, לבחירות הבאות. אבל הוא יכול לשים את הבת שלו, הבן שלו, וכולם יבחרו בהם, והוא ינהל את זה מאחור, אתה מבין? אז מה זה שייך? מה זה משנה? למה? כל אחד יכול לרוץ, גם אתה יכול לרוץ, אם יש לך מצביע, יש לו, זה קורא מובמנט, הוא קורא לעצמו מובמנט, לא רפובליקה. הוא מובמנט, הוא קורא לעצמו מובמנט. באמת, מה ביקשתי? יש איזה נהג אחד, מונית, מתלונן שהאוכל נורא יקר יש נהג מונית מתלונן שהאוכל נורא יקר בשדה תעופה. אז הוא דורש שישימו שם $1 פיצה. הוא צודק, אתה יודע כמה כספים דורשים שם. עמדתי פעמים באיירפורט לקנות אוכל, אז דתי אחד ראה אותי, אומר לי, אתה יהודי? וזה אמרת לו, כן. אומר, אל תקנה, פה יש לנו פה ארגז סנדוויצ'ים בחינם. לקח אותי לצד, כן. אמר, תבחר לך שתייה, סנדוויץ', הכל בחינם. זה קטעים. יש להם כל מיני תמחוי. לא, מה נקים בזה תעופה? זורקים לך את האוכל, זורקים לך את המים. רוצים שתקנה. בשדה תעופה, זורקים לך את האוכל, זורקים לך את המים, רוצים שתקנה. רוצים שתקנה בפנים. נבלות, אתה יודע אם אנשים באים מהבית, אומרים להם לא, אסור, סכנה וזה. סתם, רוצים שתקנה ממני. כן. יש הליקופטרים, יש אולי הפגנות, לא יודע, פעם שמע הליקופטרים בעיר, הפגנות שם. על הבית של אלי, הוא רוצה לדבר איתו פנים מול פנים. אלי אומר לו, מה, אני חברה שלך? מה זה פנים מול פנים? תגיד מה שיש לך להגיד בטלפון וזהו. פגשתי אותו כמה פעמים. אומר, אני רוצה את הדירה לבן שלי, יש לו 40 בניינים, הוא רוצה את הדירה לבן שלו, את חיידר כזה קטן, אלוף, ראית איזה חיידר קטן? כן. 40 בניינים שם בקווינס, רוצה את הדירה, והבן שלו כזה שמן ענק, הוא קושי יוכל להיכנס לחיידר. לא נראה לך שאתה, זה הבן שלך? הוא צריך טירה, לא חיידר חדרון קטן. כן. אמרת לו, הולך בית משפט. הוא אומר, אני לא יכול כי זה חיידר לא חוקי. אמרת לו, זה, תגיד תודה שאתה מקבל את ה-600 שלך לחודש, וזהו, ושתוק. גם את זה אני לא חייב לשלם.
Lost satellite reception.
אז הוא אומר שהוא רוצה להביא דייר חדש, להזכיר את כל הדירה, כאילו. אמרת לו, תשים שם, כאילו, אתה יודע, קיר גבס, בצד השני, כאילו אין את החדר הזה, לא היה כלום. לא נברא, אתה מבין? טוב ששמרתי על החדר כל התקופה הזו שלי היה בארלם. עכשיו נזרק מארלם, אז יש לו את קווינס. צריך לשמור על נכסים, אתה יודע. לא מצב השותפות, שותפות. הבוס של טסלה הוא מאוד כועס על... הבוס של טסלה שעושה את המכוניות של טסלה, מאוד כועס על, אתה יודע, על טוויטר, פייסבוק, על זה שמתנכלים לטראמפ. לא שזה אומר שזה לא צורה. הם עושים את זה לטראמפ, מחר עשו את זה לא, אתה מבין? אומר, הם צריכים להיות שוויון. צודק, העסקים לא צריכים להכניס את הראש שלהם לעניין פוליטי. אוטומטים מפסידים את המניות, המניות שלהם יורדים, הם מפסידים חצי מהשוק, מה שנקרא. בין אם אתה זמר, שחקן או העסק, אל תביע דעות פוליטיות לשום צד, כי אתה מפסיד חצי מהשוק, אם לא יותר. נראה איזה שמן אחד במכונית של, אתה יודע, של אובר, איזה פריוס קטנה. נראה שמן אחד מנסה להיכנס למכונית כזו קטנה של פריוס, מצחיק, כל שהוא נכנס. אני רואה איזה שמן אחד מנסה להיכנס למכונית של פריאס, הטיוטה פריאס הקטנות האלה. קושי הוא נכנס, הוא צריך, כל הקפלים צריך לדחוף פה, לדחוף שם, מסכן. צריך להזמין SUV, לא פריאס. כן. פעם היו גדולות, עכשיו הכל קטן. לא משנה איזה אוטו תקנה, הכל אותו נראה אותו דבר. כן. יש, אני צריך לבדוק מה קורה עם המצב, יש זה, בעניין של בלומברג, אומר שהוא עושה קוביד טסט לוונדור. לפעמים נגיד אני עושה גראב-האב, משלוח של אוכל, אז אני אקרא ונדור גם, אז גם לי יכול לעשות את הקוביד טסט.
Lost satellite reception.
תעשה חיסון של סלייבה, לא שתחפו לך מקלות לאף, איזה בלגן, איך תדע איזה נזק, תבקש סלייבה. יש אפשרות סלף קיט, שישלחו לך הביתה את הקיט. כן.
Delightful because it was 45 degrees, right? But still, I had to sit next to the heater.
In a hospital, you did not get one. You were probably turned away. Demand greater than the supply. Mount Sinai had to cancel appointments today. They just didn't have enough on hand. Hospital spokesperson Lucia Lee.
Green Foster, how you doing? Welcome back, welcome back. Green Foster. Fan number 1. Karim Karambo. Catherine Foster, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine, making me happy all the time.
CAPSLOCK right now for the full pay-for price of the city of New York has had to cover 25% of all FEMA-eligible expenses. FEMA eventually provided the other 75%. Now FEMA's going to cover the full 100%.
Schumer says getting the aid deal done even before the inauguration shows, in his words here, we will be hitting the ground running come January 20th. Well, if you have had coronavirus, COVID-19, another study is saying that you do have immunity, but it doesn't last forever. Researchers at Public Health England studied 20,000 volunteer health workers from across the UK and say the ones who got COVID had an 83% chance of not catching it again, but only for 5 months. They also warn that just because you have a degree of immunity doesn't mean you can't pass the virus on to someone else. There will be an inauguration like no other, major step being taken to protect the security of next week's inauguration of President-elect Joe Biden. There will be no public access on the National Mall.
The entire National Mall closing for Inauguration Day, with only media and security personnel allowed to be present, sources confirmed to ABC News. The measure is the latest step taken to prevent more violent protests in the aftermath of the Capitol siege. More than 20,000 National Guardsmen have already been mobilized to protect the presidential swearing-in.
Correspondent Inez de la Quatara, that also means no big screens, no viewing areas, no toilets. NYPD helping out. They're sending 200 officers to D.C. to help with security. Now, at this point, we do know the mall will shut down on the 20th, but we don't know at what point that shutdown will actually begin. Also, another announcement today, as the security really ramps up, President-elect Biden will no longer be taking Amtrak to Washington, D.C. from Delaware, as he had previously planned. He made the change after being briefed by the FBI and the Secret Service. Now, you might want to stock up on apples and oranges. Workers at the Hunts Point Terminal Produce Market, the largest supplier of fruits and veggies in the city, say they are ready to go out on strike. Their union will hold a vote in the potential walkout this Saturday. Workers are asking for a $1 an hour pay raise and a 60% boost to their health care benefits. The market is countered with an offer of $32, $24,
Oh wow, look at this limo advertised here. Times Square, baby. A lot of people here, always out and about. Stay safe, stay well. Come, Catherine, make some picture here. Ho, 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 ho. Everybody knows this. Start spreading the news. New York, New York. Start cooking the pasta.
Someone is waiting for the credits to start in a movie theater.
Hey, you want anything? Popcorn? Soda? No, nothing.
I'm coming home. So you think you can tell heaven from hell, blue sky today. So you think you can tell heaven from hell. Shine like a diamond. Shine like a diamond. I know how to sing. I sing all. Shine like a diamond. Shine like a diamond. All is very lovely. Love crazy game. Two people today. Voila. Voila.
The call to remove the president scene from the film ramped up when he refused to accept the results of the 2020 presidential election. Coffin showing his support for the movement, telling one person on Twitter that he was sold on the petition and replying, "Bravo to someone who went ahead and did the editing on their own." One half of an iconic Vegas performance team has died. Three Fishmockers passing from pancreatic cancer marks the end of an era in Las Vegas where the illusionists dazzled sellout crowds on the strip with their magic sets and exotic animals until Roy Horn was critically injured by one of their tigers back in 2003. In a 2019 ABC 2020 interview, he
Well, thank you everybody for tuning my channel. I'm gonna send you a cookie to everybody. So shout out to Catherine Foster, #1. Maybe I'm gonna make you my moderator. My moderator, Catherine Foster. Because Lamborghini driver getting busy and don't have time to answer everybody. So I'm gonna put my link and I'll ask you to click on a link to subscribe for Lamborghini Travel. Let me see what else I got here. There are all kind of cool stuff here. There are all kind of cool stuff here. What to feel. Let me see what is out of clipboard. That's cool. So I'm gonna end the live with peace and love. Thank you to the special shout out to Bobster. I'm not gonna say Boobster. The correct word is Bobster. Shout out to Karim Karambo, Aleskan, Shelly and Anthony, Katrina Foster, Hanan Bufsa, Dead Wife, Tripkun, Luke. So I'm gonna see you tomorrow from 8 to 6. Every day here, 8 to 6. Thank you for tuning in. I'm gonna see you mañana. 8 to 6, yeah, Catherine. We'll see you tomorrow. We love you.